My name is Dr. Jocelyn Conley. I'm a pelvic floor physical therapist, and in this video, I'm gonna go over tall kneeling hip hinging. The purpose of this exercise or drill is to learn how to control hip flexion, which is this motion. This is hip flexion, this is extension, with connection with your glutes, so that there's not so much strain going on through the joints of the spine or the SI joint, and to balance out the forces from all sides of the hip. If you need a pillow or a cushion for your knees, grab that. I will try not to make a ton of facial expressions because this is uncomfortable for me. First things first is finding a neutral spine position. If you have really stiff quads and hip flexors, you might be on look like this. Do your best to use your deep core, so just a gentle belly button in to get your spine in neutral, and maybe a little bit of glutes after that, but know that you will be changing that when you start to move. Hand position it's helpful if you place your hands on your underwear crease, if you wear briefs, or front and back of your spine. And on the back of your spine, it would be like this. So you could feel whether there is any motion happening back here. And the movement is this. You're gonna sit your hips back. As you sit your hips back, your chest tips forward. And then once you get to the point where you can't really go any further, you squeeze your glutes to stand back up. As I tip forward, it is my glutes and other muscles, but the whole goal is to build awareness in your glutes that is controlling hip flexion. Then as I go to stand up, my glutes, I squeeze my glutes so that I drive hip extension with my glutes versus other areas. Again, tipping from the hips, glutes control the motion, my chest comes forward. If I had a line or a pole here, you would see that I'm not moving away from that. That's not what I'm doing. I am like a nutcracker that you move. A couple tips is you can pretend that you're sliding your hips or knees apart from one another. Another thing you can do is just gently squeeze your glutes as you go back and then add a little bit more oomph to come back up. Or you can think about corkscrewing or rotating your hips. Your right hip would be clockwise, left hip would be counterclockwise, or you can even just press your heels together as you sit your hips back and then squeeze your glutes to stand back up. I typically recommend doing this for anywhere from 10 to 15 reps, 2 to 3 rounds, and I'll intermingle this or mix this with a glute bridge, a standing hip hinge, 4-point hip hinge, so that we are really reinforcing those patterns and you're able to see the transfer between the different exercises. If you have any questions, please comment below. Otherwise, I will see you on the next video.